Today, on This American Dice, the conflicting priorities and values of the city's magistrates come out into the open. How trustworthy is Yogo Osaka when it really comes to enforcing the law? Is opium the root of the city's problems or merely a branch? And how will Bayushi Korochika handle the pressure of his business empire being threatened? Find out today on This American Dice. Hey there, folks. This is Marcus Ledzinski. I'm the one who normally edits these episodes, but today I wanted to give you a heads up that we had a slight problem with some of the equipment that normally cuts out or truncates the sound on the episode. So I wanted you to know that it'll be a little bit tough to hear some of the speakers in this, but please definitely try to listen to it as much as you can because they really get into some good stuff, especially when they're having meetings where they're arguing about where to go ahead. Thank you so much, guys.
A large city surrounded by green walls and acres of poppy fields. A group of monks traveled toward the city, exchanging prayers for whatever alms the poor peasants of the countryside can spare. In the noble quarter, we see a beautiful but imposing palace and a foreign-looking minareted estate. In the temple quarter, we see the glistening white temple of the sun goddess with its 60-foot pole topped by a shimmering golden spear, and the temple of the fortune of wealth with its towering statue of the patriot god of the city. Next door, in the merchant quarter, we see busy streets with noisy merchants selling wares from all over Rokugan and beyond. On the other side of the Bay of Drowned Honor, the fisherman's quarter, dirtier with poorer commoners, meaner gangs, and shabby dwellings amid the docks and warehouses. We pass the leather workers' quarter, the home of the Ada, the Untouchables, and the only building of notice there, the city crematorium. Finally, we arrive at Teardrop Island, the license quarter, with its perpetual twilight of hanging lanterns, fine sake and geisha houses. We follow a man in a basket hat as he's beckoned inside by a beautiful geisha. He enters and removes his hat. We see one of the monks from the beginning. Ryoko Owari, City of Lies.
Alright, back to Ishi. What's Ishi's next move?
I don't know. It's opium stuff. I almost feel like the next thing I would do is I'd want to call a meeting between all of us.
Sounds good to me.
This is, to me, this is like a super important thing. This is like really, really big. This is not a single...
Not a one-man job.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. So at some point in the magistrate residence?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we gathered.
You have your big kind of somewhat stark briefing room where you guys meet to talk. You guys down for this? Everybody down for this meeting? Anybody like, I might not show up?
Sure. I'm going to show up, but
This is on the end of the... Or this is on the fourth... This is on the fourth... Probably towards the end of that day. The fourth day after Watchful was killed.
Yeah, after my epiphany in the market,
Mm-hmm.
I went back to magistrate house and created a new poem entry.
Mm-hmm.
I should have known.
But I'm now writing poems that are encrypted with the things I've learned in my investigations and my suspicions.
Okay. It sounds like you got to make a love roll then.
All right.
Okay.
Don't miss the meeting.
So you might end up missing this meeting.
I'd like if you didn't do that.
It's like I just wanted to write
I want to be with
ideas,
you
but
now.
it's going to be my
I want to be
masterpiece.
with you now.
The one time you learned something really important.
You just missed the meeting because you read poems.
Not terrible.
Got the highs and the lows here.
Oh, yeah.
Now
Oh, yeah, that's right. You want to roll low on this.
Oh, no.
So what'd you get?
didn't do that.
7, right?
Yeah. Do I
Do you
have
have
anything? Or
If you have any love, yeah.
I currently have one love marked.
Okay, so 8. So on a 7 to 8, choose one. I think it's on the back side of your thing. Yeah. 7 to 8, choose one of those.
Did you come if I told you meetings said not opium?
Is that what you put in the message? I guess. Yeah.
I have
This-
important
The
information.
second, third, and fourth one are the same.
You flee from your emotions, causing you to neglect a duty. You devote your next few days creating a work of art. Or poetry. Well, in yours, it's... But yeah.
Well, I'll just choose the first one then.
It all depends on what your love is at the same time. So, you go on a bender kind of a thing.
They all result in abandoning your current duties.
Right.
So,
Okay. So which one are you doing?
your emotional reaction gives away your love to someone of the MC's choice.
Okay.
Oof.
Misaki's right. I am cheating on her with my book of poetry.
All right.
Do I mark a love?
No, you don't.
No, only if you miss.
Yeah, only if you miss. Because then the idea is it's building up.
I see.
The pressure is building up. All right, so you write out these poems. That night, you guys meet up in this room.
Yeah.
Aji's high as fuck.
Yeah.
What? Are you high, Aji? Did you come to my meeting about... I was like, hey, there's a meeting about opium. I said that.
I was like, oh, that sounds good. I'll be there.
Did you come here high as fuck?
I heard meeting.
I said meeting about opium. Like, I specified it in, like, the letter and everything.
I think that's another love roll, too. Damn it. Okay.
Damn it.
I thought you just said a meeting.
See?
No, I said meeting about opium.
Meeting about opium. That's a low roll, right?
That's a 6.
6. Do you have any love?
Oh,
No, that's a 5 plus 1.
5 plus 1 is 6. Awesome.
Oh.
Okay, so you have another love, but you're able to be like, hold it together. Hold it together, old boy.
Smoke.
Yeah.
I don't have to smoke.
Meeting about opium? Oh, okay. I think I know what he means. Meeting about opium.
I thought you had some here.
Yeah.
I'm going to give away.
We're good.
I've had opium meetings before.
Yeah.
It's different.
Now Ishi says,
Yeah.
that's kind of weird. If he's in there, oh no, different.
You think for a second how many of the pills that you confiscated from that warehouse for investigative purposes, I'm doing air quotes, you still have left. And then are like, oh, I'll get to the meeting. I'll count those later. Count those bad boys later.
I got this pain meds this time.
Yeah. All right. And there we are in our meeting hall.
All right.
Servants bring tea or sake.
So as everybody knows, the opium epidemic that has gripped this city has only gotten worse in recent. And at this moment, I'm now convinced that there's a power struggle going on in the upper echelons of society. And the very ringleaders who control this opium, there's a power struggle between them to control the whole city. And I'm concerned that it's going to tear everything apart. As Yogasako is always right, as always likes to say, there's like a balance in the city. I'm afraid that the city's going to tear itself apart underneath our watch.
Yoko Saka also likes to say that these matters are her jurisdiction.
Because, in my opinion, this is the root of many of the problems we're dealing with. I think that this has implications in Naritoki's assassination, and that it could have something to do with the ninjas. I'm not entirely sure, but
The city is on the edge of chaos. I visited the merchant quarter, and there's a lot of stress. Tensions are high. There are many robberies as people seek out money in order to find the last bits of opium from stores that have dried up.
When you say this, are you referencing your poems as notes at all?
Not intentionally.
I love it.
But I missed my love roll.
Say some of your things in poem form.
Well, no. Do you have them like with you to like reference them?
The
or something like that?
intention was that the poems would be my form of the journals if something happened to me.
Okay.
So I was not planning to share these poems at all.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I did fail the love roll, so
I didn't know if you were using those as.
I wouldn't want them with me.
Okay.
But it makes sense for interesting story that maybe I.
If you weren't intended to bring them with you, you don't need them. I didn't know if he would need like. Of course, I brought my dossier kind of a thing. Yeah, then you're good. Don't even worry about it.
Okay. So then no, but yeah, I'm gonna say the city's about to start crumbling. The way people are searching out opium and being unable to find it due to the recent. I don't know how much Yugare has been following the various opium shortages, but like that one warehouse empty, Watchful's warehouse was cleared out and all that. So
As I've been doing investigation, I've noticed that Soshi Serioku's other business interests have kind of dried up. Full's death right after we talked to another thing we should talk about.
What do you mean?
Well, after Watchful's death, it seems a lot of her other employees have left town in fear. So maybe this is maybe she was corrupt and was using opium illegally. I don't see how this would tie into Naritoki and the other thing you said, which was ninjas. But it might be something we address with
no matter what, we have to
jurisdiction.
We have to hold up. There can't be any. What's the word for it? We have to hold up like public decency. Like there can't be discord in the streets. That is under our reach. What's called civil disorder. We can't allow civil disorder to pervade through the streets, and I'm concerned that this is what this is leading to.
Seems less of an opium epidemic and more of an opium shortage.
I think it's the opium shortage because there's a power struggle.
Why do you think there's a power struggle?
Well, although you are correct that in many ways this is not under jurisdiction, I have been, perhaps wrongly, I have been investigating Shishori Hayola, the governor. I discovered in my investigations that she is trying to oust her competitor and trying to completely take over an illegal opium network.
What evidence do you have?
I have words evidence, but I haven't.
So you spoke to people.
I spoke to many distributors who said that she is in charge of their distribution network. And then also many others.
I'm going to say the you would get like word on the street kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
Peasants?
yeah, you wouldn't get like, yeah, I'm a drug dealer and I work for her kind of a thing.
More than peasants, but there's at least one higher person that I had to bribe in order to not leak my into the city.
Who are the competitors?
That is what I'm not aware of. I don't know all the players in this game, but
There are fewer and fewer competitors.
that's what it seems to be.
I think I have one. I was at the Korochika residence, and I noticed there were a lot of guards there.
Oh, really?
So Ryoko is a competitor. Is Korochika one? Is this a Scorpion internal feud?
It could be. But I think this is something we should all keep our eyes on. If it gets worse, if a shortage continues, or if there's more conflict inside the Hayobu family, if that's really what it is, then
I mean, it's a Scorpion town. Isn't this a Scorpion matter? Is this our concern?
we can't let it get so bad that there's lawlessness. If they're causing a shortage of legal substance, or if they're causing shortages that affect the legal market,
The legal market isn't what's causing the problem.
it's the illegal market.
It's the addicts are seeking out and clamoring and robbing for what they crave. Sometimes the best way to let a forest grow fresh when the lightning takes it in a fire first. I wonder if the burning could signal the potential for a fresh start for the city.
I mean, the robbery, Serioku's opium? I think I'm missing your metaphor.
I agree with Ishi that someone has put a plan in motion to take over the opium trade.
By hoarding it? By hoarding it?
By killing, well,
But
maybe
there's
not
a-
competitors, but by scaring them.
I wouldn't claim to understand the plan, as that is not my forte, but something is happening, and someone is causing it, and someone stands to gain from it.
Currently, we don't have enough information.
We cannot abide.
Why would the governor gain from Chaotic City?
Which-
I've found that many people figure out many ways to gather much money. How they do it, you're asking how, and that I don't know.
Isn't the governor's job to, even above ours, keep order in her own city?
concerned that she's
I don't understand.
by pursuing
This grand conspiracy doesn't make sense to me, how it's related. It seems to me like just the easiest solution, or the easiest, just answer to this is that Serioku's business was robbed, and maybe she was doing illegal things, and these addicts, these weak-willed addicts, are now clamoring for their
Why would she?
Their medicine.
Why would she leave town?
She didn't leave town. Her employees left town because Watchful was murdered after we talked to her.
That seems more than what is a normal ass business in this world. Would an entire chain just up and leave? A single store owner was robbed.
That's the impression I'm getting. Contacts that no one's working for her.
Well,
Under what kind of duress? From what other pressures?
it doesn't make sense for that to be the only thing because
No.
Kabochu is also Korchito.
Korochika.
Korchika. Korchika has been increasing his armed guard significantly, right, Audrey? That seems like a move out of fear.
It's true. There's
Maybe it just has to tie with increased robbery amongst opium, but
these.
then who's doing the robbery? Who's doing the robbery? Who's committing these crimes? We have to find this out.
Ishi, I think, and I need to bring this up again, but I've asked you over and over and over again to focus on these specific things
I just think
that we
there's
as a group have been trying to do, and I've asked you not to, and it seems like now you're just becoming blind. This gearing up of rich nobles guarding their houses could be ninja. It could be the demon rumors that we heard. It could be any number of things. There's no reason why it's only opium. I think that's blinding you.
I hear it's us.
I think it's us
What do you
why these people are scared.
anyone we talk to, they get hurt? What if we are causing the unrest? What if we are the ones to blame?
Ooh, existential.
Real existential there for a second, alright.
You cannot blame the river for bringing the deer and the tiger to the same place. If someone is threatening people we've talked to, it is not our fault.
Can't blame them. It is the river's fault.
It is making it harder for me to talk to my contacts.
That is yet another effect of the unseen pressure, this threat that is coming from somewhere. The machinations have an origin within the city. There are too many coincidences in that.
Absolutely.
The motivations and the source are yet to be discovered.
I think this shortage of opium and the weak-willed addicts that are becoming more and more driven to violence because of it is a symptom of what's going on and all these other problems that we hear about. But it's not the root. I think Ishi,
symptom more than a root.
Yeah, Ishi, I'm really disappointed that this. I've told you privately over and over again, and now I have to do it in front of our colleagues. How can I get you to stop focusing on this?
No, would you say the addicts in the streets?
Mm-hmm.
They're not a symptom. They're not the cause. They're an intended element that is being manipulated.
Exactly. We're saying the same thing. It's a symptom of another problem.
An after effect of something else. I'm saying that this is a key part of the plan of whoever is behind it. They intended for this to happen for some nefarious purpose.
You can see that.
That the opium has to be looked into. It is an important aspect of everything in the city.
Yeah, it's another problem, but it's not. It's just something that's happening because of these other things.
Well, not at the source. I just wanted to bring it to everybody's attention. There's growing tension in this city because of this problem, and that we need to keep an eye forward.
And how's the task that you were assigned, the moon cult? How's that been? Have you looked into that, or has that gone to the wayside on this crusade against opium?
On this crusade to save the city from falling apart around, in my opinion,
to deal with one of the hundreds of problems that we don't even have jurisdiction over.
We have infinite jurisdiction over stopping civil disobedience.
Infinite jurisdiction?
In stopping civil disobedience in this city. It is part of our duties. And your insistence that we do nothing is quite confusing.
I don't think we have infinite jurisdiction. We have very clearly defined jurisdiction, and you're overstepping it.
We have jurisdiction over problems that are causing civil disobedience in this city. And this problem is 100% causing.
No, the ninja, the moon cult, Michitaka's, Michitaka, but Naritoki's murder, Michitaka also. But this opium epidemic that is your only focus isn't helping anything.
Concerned
I want to
the
read
epidemic. I'm more concerned
Taiyo.
I've been trying to read him for this entire thing.
Go ahead and make both of you make those rolls then.
All right.
All right, Taiyo got a
10 plus.
10 plus.
Andrew got a 2 or a 3.
Andrew got a 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Double XP.
Double XP.
Double XP, boy.
All right.
Get that XP.
Still help your character to not do that. Let me make that more specific. How can I get your character to leave it to, or at least work with Yogo Osaka on the opium specifically?
Ishi doesn't want this problem to just be dismissed, because every time he goes to Yogo Osaka's like, hey, I'll take care of it, yeah. And that is not, every time that happens, Ishi's like, I can't do this. She's not taking care of it. Every time I turn away, I see more issues. Mm-hmm. And so that makes him more into dealing with the problem.
So I have to convince you that Yogo Osaka will do something?
Yes. Very result.
Yeah, that is an answer. I just specify resend.
It is in fact an answer to a question.
What's your character wish I'd do?
I wish you would take this problem.
Moving.
Alright, not gonna do that. Just check that shit off. Put a little X right there. Not gonna do that.
I'll save it, but I know which one. What's Ati doing? I'll look over at Ati.
Well, that's fine.
You want to pick a side, don't you?
I think he does. I think Taiyo wants that.
I don't think Taiyo would say it out loud. Let's look over at you.
Yeah, would you say, do you want me to pick a side? Would you say that?
So if you look at me, I just assume you want me to pick a side.
Okay.
Fine. I have information, but I don't know if I want to share it.
Why don't you write it as a poem?
There you go. Write as a poem. Let your feelings go. And then you'll have a poem.
Since I was picked to do courageous, I will pick a side.
Well picked.
I believe there is evidence that we could obtain for this situation. Naritoki had a journal, and I know the score. I know Yogo Asako is very interested in it.
Oh, really? Why hasn't she brought this to our attention?
Because it has secret that shame Naritoki, but also the Scorpion, the leaders of the city.
Oh, wow.
I am conflicted because I do not want to bring dishonor to a
Of course. No.
samurai. But last I heard that it was Magda who had this journal, but she is missing.
That is, I don't think I had any interaction with Magda, not once in my whole character's life. That is...
She's blonde.
I think no one's really
Well, I saw her.
I've seen her once. There's a blonde lady in town.
You know her as soon as you hear like a description of her
As blonde.
you remember like, oh, that's at that foreign house on Teardrop Island.
Okay. Huh. Wow.
Did we hear that she was missing, or I forget how we figured that
I
out?
don't know if we know she's missing.
I can tell you just now.
I mean, you probably...
Yeah, I know the two of us knew, but I also forget how we knew.
I don't think at least I have any idea what's going on tonight, and now she's on our radar for the first time ever.
I bring it to your attention.
How long has that been?
Just a bit. You guys are not right.
It's been more than a month for sure.
It's been a while.
It's been like a month and a week or two.
No, more than that, because we skipped a month with the beast.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, it was like really that close to the beast.
A month and a couple of weeks.
I feel like it happened years ago. Jesus, wasn't it? Anyway. Oh.
Sure.
Well then.
If you're looking for evidence, I believe the journal is
The journal is the key to
its many answers.
Perhaps that is the connection. That's the journal is really the final key to unlocking why she died.
If Yogo Sako knows about it, they could work with her.
I'm just concerned as why she did.
What?
As to why she hid the existence.
It had poorly implied.
Well, I guess I'll talk to her I don't know.
Maybe also look into moon
There's
code.
been no new. There's nothing's happened at the cave since I've left. I have 2 armed guards there at all times with orders to ride back to town and get more.
When was the last time free time? Well, you want
Probably like 4 days that nobody's come or gone. And if anybody does, they are required to report back. And if there's any armed people supposed to get Jocho's some mountain.
Well, it's good to hear that demon isn't as high a priority.
I kind of feel like this scene's ending around now.
Case,
Yeah, I guess.
Sorry,
what does your
sure.
character intend to do?
so what
last
I intend to do. Well, the journal's been brought up, and I don't really have any moon call lead. Probably, I think our leads take me.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Got a journal lead. I ain't got no moon call leads.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I got moon call guards.
Now I'm thinking of Glengarry going off. Leads. All right. The next day, what's Yugare up to? What's Yugare's plan of attack?
Well, actually, I need to talk to Taiyo. I don't know if our kids are going to the same tutor or what yet.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that would be a convenient opera corner you.
Oh, fun.
Basically, I'm just gonna.
Where do you guys meet?
I don't know.
I guess the tutor would be in the...
Merchant.
At the magistrate residence?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good.
not like pennies and sizes. How many students they have?
You probably
Yeah, I
wouldn't
think it's just the
actually
4.
come with your kids for that.
I probably would.
All right.
Because I have to do office hours.
Oh yeah.
Still go there.
Once in a while, I used to do work.
It's like daycare.
Like library.
It's daycare, public daycare.
I probably wouldn't let them walk by themselves.
That's the city kind of distraction. Yeah.
I figured
Also, they're
someone would
3, but
accompany them, but
But
Yeah, they're 3. Yeah.
I wouldn't let servants take them, is what I was saying.
Okay. Come on, kids. Find your
Alright,
tutor.
figure it out. Hope they taught you maps
Figure
already.
us down. There's a bunch of opium in the streets.
This is your first lesson.
Figure it out.
all right. So
I think I will. I've definitely at least paid for this. So maybe if there wasn't a tutor before, like that's where I put my wealth in, like a fancy tutor that also is like for his kids too.
Sure.
So sort of like Taiyo's fronting the bill for it.
Sweet. All right. So we're at the magistrate house. Yugare.
This is like the next afternoon or something.
Yeah. and I'll just like find you. Like maybe it's your office hours or something, and Yugare shows up.
Yeah, or we could be at the tutoring school, whichever one you want. It's your scene, baby.
I was gonna say like to you. Hello.
Hello. That's
Where are we?
I don't know.
Magistrates residence.
So it's kind of cold at this point. So if you guys said you're at the magistrate's residence.
Be in front of that red tree.
It's getting chillier outside, so you guys might not. You guys might meet there, but probably the kids aren't being like tutored in front of that red tree.
Probably inside somewhere.
Yeah, so they're probably doing that stuff inside.
Maybe I catch you walking or something.
So we're like in a hall or something.
Yeah. I had been considering last evening regarding our priorities and responsibilities.
And then you guys kind of continue to walk and talk out into this garden.
Sorkening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we go
sorkening.
to the garden. Sure.
Sure.
Oh, you like lead me to the garden?
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah. There's
So dramatic.
That's great.
maybe in like one tree there's like a little bit of snow, or there's a little bit of frost on some stuff. A lot of the trees are dead, or they're trees that don't bloom a lot.
Oh, should we have been watering these?
Yeah. No, there's definitely gardeners that take care of all this stuff. But
They're all dead?
Oh, and
At least one.
Mizuki
She had way too many nightmares.
is out here taking care of stuff like regularly. But there's that tree that Matsu Shigeko planted, and it looks great.
The red tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it.
Well, actually, since it's the next day, I'm going to invoke my new move
Okay.
called The Spirit is My Ally. That lets me call forth the spirit of nature to be my companion until the next sunrise. So every day I'm going to have a kami familiar.
That's awesome.
That's pretty legit, not gonna lie.
I got to roll for that one. I don't know what happens yet.
All right. We got a 7. We got a 7 naturally.
It's a 9.
I don't know what this
Okay.
shit does, but I'm doing it, bro.
You will choose the element.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Void. Just trying to pick the most evil one.
Oh, wait.
This is the void.
Oh, no. Here, I've got a choice. Either I can choose the element, but it will perform a weaker stuff,
Mm-hmm.
or you choose the element and it does the stronger stuff. So I'll let you choose.
Me choose the element.
Yeah, the way it's worded is it will do these things on command, which seems broken because I'll let you read them. But the rank 3 move
Mm-hmm.
is what it will be able to do on command. We can fudge what on command means a little bit, because one of them is heal somebody. It's like, okay, well, to just do that over and over again seems insane.
So you can call. So this is the spirit within.
Yeah.
Okay. You call upon the kami within nature to take one action on your behalf. Roll plus blessed.
This is the movie he's doing right now is like he gets to do that for free almost.
Oh yeah, so it's just one action.
Oh, so the move I'm doing now is the spirit is my ally.
Is your rank 5 already?
Yeah.
So you've gotten all these other things.
I could have
Yeah.
gotten there. I
Rank
could have
5.
gotten to rank
The
5.
spirit is my ally.
Gone for it.
The spirit of nature to be your companion until the next sunrise. Roll plus blessed. You got a 7 to 9.
So you just get
7
to
to
choose
9.
one.
The MC chooses the element. Rank 3 action on command, or you choose the element for the rank. Okay, so yeah, I mean, air is the one that makes the most sense.
Which one was air?
Send messages to people.
Okay. So,
All right, so you hear maybe it's kind of windy in this garden. The wind kind of whispering through. Maybe there's ever so slightly every now and again a flurry of snow kind of like flakes down and then gets picked up by this wind. You have to like bundle up a little more than you were expecting to in this garden, which should be shielded from the wind, or at least Taiyo does.
yeah, I think you might even be able to notice that maybe like it's around Yugare a little bit more.
Love it.
So I don't think it'll be super relevant here, but since it's the next day, I didn't want to skip summoning my spirit. So I said that I've been thinking about it since last night's meeting, and I had wanted to talk to you about something, about our priorities and everything, and then I'm immediately going to apologize. I'm sorry, I that's a lie. I wanted to say it last night, but not in front of everyone. I haven't been thinking about it. I believe everything that's going on is more related, and rather than splitting up and approaching different tasks, we should be working together as a unit on a singular task. Whether the opium situation is cause and effect, I hope we can agree that there's someone behind it, and it's that identity that needs to be discovered, and it's that person that needs to be taken care of, anything, whoever it may be, because I believe what they seek is in their own self-interest and not in the interests of the emperor or the city or the people of the city.
It's true. It's I didn't want to bring it up, although I kind of, like I said, I think Ishi is too single-minded in this. I don't think that opium is the problem here. If anything, it's, as is now being proven, it's something, even the illegal opium has been something that's placating the city more than damaging it. And now that it seems like there's less of it, these people are getting spurred into violence. It's not something that I particularly love about the city, but people, these weaker-willed peasants doing their opium when they don't need to, does keep them quieter. And now that there's less of it with Siryoku's business in tatters, whether that be by design or not, it seems like that's a detriment to the city. And I think Ishi is indirectly, if he gets his wish, it's going to cause more harm than good. And I'm trying to make him understand that, and it's not happening. I don't know what to do.
Well, I agree that opium itself may not be the root of all our problems. I do believe the current situation regarding opium is of utmost importance.
I do agree. I think you did make a good point that maybe not a symptom is the wrong word, but withholding it seems to be causing damage to the city, especially with the weaker-willed people who are more easily used by people that, like the ninja or the cultist or the people in power or whoever.
Even, what I was going to say. But, so, with that being the case, even though we might have different ideas of what opium should look like in the city, at least we can agree that we need to find the source of who is manipulating the opium, find out why, because what they're doing is causing problems one way or the other for whatever reason. And Ishi could be used, his focus can be used here. The problem is related to opium. Point him in that direction. If he is a blunt object, let us find the rock for him to strike.
True, but like I said, it seems like he doesn't respect what I've told him. I don't know how I can cure his blindness.
I humbly submit that we're all equally appointed as magistrate. I
agree.
Respect you as our captain, but if Ishi wishes to pursue the trouble that opium is causing in the Emperor's city, it's being used illegally. It's within his right to do so.
He's also great, and maybe Taiyo will turn and look at this tree again, be dramatic about it. It's like the Dragon Clan, so far up in the north, it's sometimes more detached than other clans. The Crab has taken over the city before, and they're not well liked by some in this city. And Ishi brought a group of troops, a unit of troops with him, and the governor's already told me personally that it is not seen favorably. It's not an act of peace to bring troops from a clan that once conquered this place into the city. I've gently guided them outside the city, hopefully saving face for him without embarrassing him or showing the error that the stress that this caused the governor. But and now the Scorpion clan is tasked with the legal use of opium, or the legal cultivation of opium. And it wouldn't be the first time that a Scorpion overstepped their bounds, but this is their city, and he's not well liked. And I've had to go out of my way to tell the governor and the other Scorpion here that he can be trusted, and he keeps making that harder for me by showing these things and just single-mindedly trying to disrupt the natural order of the city.
The natural order of the city is what's falling apart here and now. What role he has to play in that, what roles we have to play in that, is for us to decide now and forward. If he is an unstoppable, like an ox, in a china shop, he's a bull in the china shop.
What is china shop?
I don't understand. What is the place? Where do we're Japan. That's not really.
You've been not effortlessly. You've been like uselessly trying to wrangle him, but now that we have a goal that can so closely be aligned with it, why not unleash him in the right direction? You're right that I'm dragon from distant place where the hatreds and politics of the other clans have little bearing. And now that I'm here, I have struggled to learn the nuances and the subtleties of the way you interact. But I have, as much as the crab may be disliked here, I can tell you I have knowledge of that some scorpion are not well liked. And these prejudices are perhaps important to the people of the city, but useless to solving some of the
I
problems.
don't know. Like you said, Ishi is nothing if not a weapon, but a sharpened arrow isn't a single sharpened arrow isn't beneficial to us. He's just going after one thing doesn't defeat an army. And it's not only the governor. If we overstep our bounds and go into Yogo Osaka's jurisdiction, which she's also complained about, that will also jeopardize all of our standings, and especially Ishi's. And I think we need Ishi. I hope maybe it's obvious that I can't talk to him or get through to him. Maybe if you can show him to not be so focused. I agree that that's one problem that we have to work on, and it's obviously becoming bigger and bigger as the days go on, especially with, like you said earlier, that you noticed it too with the people in the merchant court.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's becoming a problem. It's obviously another tool, like you said, that whoever's, if one person is orchestrating this, that they're using against us. But just maybe you can make him see where I can't. I'm willing to accept that that's one thing we need to work on.
At this moment, I'm having trouble getting you to see.
Well, I was trying to manipulate you, but are you also trying to manipulate me?
Son, you had that shit. Damn.
I guess
That was pretty good.
Oh no,
Pretty good turnaround. I loved it.
what's going on?
I don't know. The last thing I did was read you.
Yeah.
I would more want to read you. I did the same for the meeting last night and failed, so I don't know what else to do. I want to read you more than I want to. So if you want to manipulate me, then try.
Okay. So if you want to make so you think you're offering him, what do you want?
I want him to talk to Ishi and tell him to not be so single-minded and like focus on everything. And the leverage I'm giving him is that I will also take the opium stuff into account, whereas I normally wouldn't.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
All right. Yeah. Go ahead and roll.
All right. Well, do you want to have him read me first? Or?
Sure. Go ahead and read him.
Simultaneously?
Oh my god, Andrew, stop.
Failed again.
Jesus.
So that was a total of 4 or a total of 5? So Yugare's read roll,
How much
5.
experience have we got off this? Like 6? Stop it.
No, you got
a 12.
12. Jeez.
Oh, fuck again.
Okay.
This man.
Also, I'm going to advance my
I just could have gotten the advances.
but yeah, I mean, if you do that thing that I just said, you'll get an experience for it, but if you don't, you'll have to defy danger.
So you will take opium into account in making your considerations of the city's priorities.
Yeah, I will include that as a problem now.
And I will talk to Ishi about being less single-minded.
Yeah, especially given that, like, I kind of revealed to you that, like, Yogo Osaka and the governor kind of are, like, angry or stressed that he's doing this, and, like, theoretically talk to me about it at some point.
Well, I will talk to him about being less single-minded and less blunt. But the fact that these people are worried about his investigation only signals to me that they have something to hide from his investigation. And especially with the knowledge that someone of great power is behind many of the city's problems right now, I would not hold them in, I don't know, I wouldn't assume they're blameless.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope you will consider, I'm going to use a treat. I'm going to point to one of the branches, like, okay, I hope you'll consider that each of our problems, and like point to one branch and another branch, may be rooted in a single thing that perhaps we should be investigating instead. And then I'll like hold like, maybe like the breeze carries it to me, a single leaf that falls off.
Like,
Just such Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna say words. Leaf thing was better.
These things are good. It was hella good.
All right, and I think that tree is what we kind of leave on in that scene.
Oh, leave on.
All right. Aji. The next day, what's Aji's game plan?
His game plan is meet up with Ishi.
All right, pairing off here, boys.
All right, boys.
Okay, where do you guys meet up?
I don't know where you want. I don't know where you hang out or.
The morning?
It's the next day.
It's next day. Like after.
Meet up in the morning.
Okay. What do you mean?
Residence hall. Where we all here? Most of us.
Okay. So you just meet in that same meeting room where you guys had your big 4-person meeting?
Yeah.
All right.
What do you plan to do, Ishi? Now that you know about this journal.
Well, I did tell Taiyo that I would bring it up with Yogo Osaka, but she's obviously hiding. Maybe either she's hiding it because she said she was so transited she hasn't told us about it and we found it, or something else, so I'm probably going to turn my investigation to her, but first I will approach her and give her an olive.
I would like to be there when you approach her. Is that possible?
Yeah, of course. Of course, you could come with me. I don't expect from how she's railroaded me before. I do not expect it to be a very productive meeting, but of course you can come with me.
All right, go now. Do you want?
Okay.
Yogo Osaka.
I'll go now. I'm gonna go to Yogo Osaka's place.
All right, so the two of you head to the Civil Hall to see Yogo Osaka.
Mm-hmm.
All right. She seems pretty busy. After a while, she'll eventually meet with you guys in her office.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, okay. Yeah, so Yogo Osaka. Osaka is her first name. Her personal name.
So like Asako-san.
Ishi-san? Aji-san?
Hello?
We were, like, the Patriots and I were going over the case of, oh, jeez, I want to call her by entirely the wrong name, and it'd be really weird to call her that.
Who's that?
Naritoki.
Naritoki.
I want to call her Nagasaki, and that's just...
Man.
I know. I'm never going to stop calling her girls.
The one before him was a lady.
That's what fucks me up. Alright, anyway. So, my compatriots and I were discussing the case of Naritoki-sama's death, and Aji-sama here brought up his journal that has yet to be found, and he said that you were looking, and I just wanted to express my desire that any help you need to find it, I will be willing to provide, and also I'll be more than willing to help provide the discretion that such a journal could require, whether it be any information that could harm your clan or the Crane clan. I don't wish that to be the issue.
She says, "Oh, I brought that subject up to Aji-san. I brought that subject up to you as that was a member of your family."
It is a member of my family, but it's also an Emerald Magistrate, which is also commanded by my matter is intertwined.
It was his from what I heard, this was a personal journal, so I brought it to you.
I think the journal is important to solve the murder.
I only wished to let you know that we will begin searching for it in earnest, and that if we find it, we will clue you into anything that's inside of it, and also not reveal anything that could harm Naritoki-sama, just to find it.
I appreciate it. Finding his murder is an important thing.
Other than that, I don't believe we have any extra business to attend to, and of course, if anything else comes about this journal, it would be incredibly helpful if you would bring it to our attention. To either Aji-sama or mine. I heard that it was on a woman named Magda last, but she's long since disappeared as far as I'm...
If I hear anything else, I'll let you know.
I don't have anything to say for her, do you?
What? You're here to roll sagacious, and I'm not. That's why.
Right. You're correct. You're right. I want to know how she feels about me bringing this.
Okay.
Other than like general unease, because she does seem a little weird.
I can't roll well. Someone else can.
That's 10, right?
That's a 10, yeah.
Pretty good.
That's a 10. I can ask some things. I forget about moves, alright? I just talk to people.
Oh, wait, that's why I'm here to back you up.
So you're like, hey, by the way, you're a smart man. You can intuit things. You can intuit extra things.
Gotta get into it first. Gotta get into it.
It's true. Gotta get into it. Gotta get right in the middle of it. Here the thumb now.
Okay, good.
Okay, you're good now, you're good. So, earlier I asked her about, I heard it was on Magda, and she just kind of like pushed it aside, and
But yeah, you said, if you find anything else, let us know. And she said, sure, yes.
Is she telling the truth about that?
No.
No? Yeah, okay.
That's messed up. That's just lying.
What does she intend to do now? That she knows that I know, that she knows that the secret has gotten out, per se.
She's going to keep looking for this. She's going to keep looking for this journal, but it's not on the top of her priority list.
It's not. She doesn't care if the journal's found. Okay? It's interesting. How could I get her number one priority?
How could you get her to make it her number one priority?
Oh.
Gotta do her shopping for her.
Yeah, you gotta take care of the whole list.
Gonna have to wash her car.
Check that shit right off. Also doing backwards checks for some reason in there. It's very weird.
She's dealing with she's dealing with the robberies and the attacks and that kind of stuff. So if that went away, then this journal would become a more important thing to her.
I think that's 3 questions.
It is.
It's 3 questions. And now she's real suspicious to Ishi, so...
Yeah. I don't think that you can tell that she's dealing with all these robberies and these attacks and that kind of stuff. When you came in, the office seemed more busy than normal. And so she seems like she's dealing with just all of this stuff that's going on. And if that ended, then this would move up on her list of priorities.
So she's extra busy. I guess I'll bring it up. Are there more crimes in the city than normal recently? I mean, I heard that there was some unrest, not unrest, but like vagrants and like people being weird in the merchants' quarter, and there's a lot of tensions there. Is there something else going on?
She'll say there had been a bad harvest in the spring, and winter's approaching. Some people get a little rambunctious as winter sets in. Nothing we can't deal with.
No, of course not. You've done an excellent job for many, many years. But if anything seems out of the ordinary, where you think it's something that's going on with perhaps any of the bandits or the ninja, happy to assist you because these are cases we're currently investigating. If there's any kind of robberies that seem weird, please just let Haji-sama or I know. You're right there to help.
Absolutely.
Here to help.
Something you wanted to say, Haji-sama? It's encouraging.
Is there anything, Asaka-san, would you like us to take care of to lighten your load?
She puts that cup up.
Just give me some coffee.
And she'll say, I have my, I'll focus on my duties in the city and the region. If you continue to look for those bandits, that would be very useful to the Emperor's roadways.
We'll see.
You think Yoko Osaka is suspicious?
All right. Has this got you two leaving?
Definitely so.
I would care.
Yeah. She's something's up with that book. More than just saving face for her clan. In my opinion, she's
distracted. She wants us out of She seems like she wants us out of the city.
Monumentally so. Yes. Well, I don't know what to do. We have to figure out some way. I think that she will be able to find this book. Not distracted. I really think she'll be able to find this book. Follow her to find it ourselves. Follow her footsteps. Her footsteps to follow her to find her.
All right. Good.
All right. What is Yugare up to? And this can be the next day.
Not Taiyo? We're just gonna skip that.
Wow.
Harsh.
I have to talk to Ichi next. Or not Ichi.
You talk to your son? Hey, little boy.
All right.
Little 10-year-old child.
So where do you two meet?
You didn't like that tree?
The tree, okay. You're right. The tree was pretty legit. If you want to meet by tree,
where do you what's your haunt?
There's probably some little sake house in Quarter right that I get. Probably some little place. Close to where we live.
There's a lot of nice sake houses in the downhill.
Ooh, so if Yugare knows that, does that seem reasonable that he would? I'm gonna whisper to you through the air.
Very creepy. Super good down.
Can you meet me there?
Creepy.
Yeah,
Super creepy.
I'm gonna go there.
Yeah, creepy air whispers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just cool with me, random ass creepy air whispers.
100% not a demon.
100% not demon is probably cool. Let's go. I mean, if it is a demon, I have to investigate it anyway, so it's not really a choice.
Hey, if you're a demon, you have to tell me.
It's the law, man. You gotta tell me.
So maybe you go in and you're not sure what to expect, but you're sitting at a table with a cup of tea.
I'm gonna go up to you and be like, Yugare, was that you? I heard,
I apologize for my non-standard invitation.
Okay, that's good. Wasn't quite sure what to expect, to be completely honest.
I'm glad you're here. I selected our meeting place according to your preferences.
Thank you. It's very lovely.
You can tell Yugare is a little uncomfortable with all the sake around.
They serve tea.
Right. So I have come with concern for some of the magistrate activities that have been going on. I meant to phrase it such as to conceal, or to make it appear that the concern were mine, but basically Yugare tries to imply something else even though he says one thing, but then just feels like he's lying 2 sentences in and then has to apologize. So I apologize. I meant to imply that it was my concern without saying so, because that would be a lie. I come bearing the concern of Taiyo.
Yes. Taiyo and I have talked a few times about his concerns involving my business.
It is your single-minded focus on city's plague of opium that is concerning.
I feel like, as I've told him many times, I feel it's the glue that binds all these issues together.
Well, I have to disagree with you there. I believe that there's another source of all of it. You have said that your investigations have led you to the governor?
Yes. I asked around and I contacted some sources of mine, and she is 100% involved in the trade of illegal opium. And also many people were scared at the fact that she was moving against her competitor.
Perhaps you're more in tune with business side of things than I am. Do you know what she has to gain from depriving the city of its opium?
Well,
things are in turmoil.
When you don't have something and then suddenly somebody comes to you with it, you're willing to do a lot more to get something that you've been deprived of.
So do you predict that she will make a move to secure her position as the sole source of opium soon?
I don't know her.
Is that what you propose?
I don't know her strategy, but probably. I don't know her timetable. All I know is that there are many people going missing or winding up dead to all these things. I mean, just last night I learned of the woman Magda, her ties to this journal that is full of secrets.
My own investigation is more tied to my own experiences and communing with the spirits. So I have less solid evidence to point to, and perhaps you've uncovered. But I do agree with you that she is the one behind many, certainly not all of the city's problems, for everyone has their own, but the city as a whole is at her whim. It is not yet. I believe she is soon to accomplish that. I do not believe that to be a good thing.
Completely. Maybe you are right. Maybe it is not. Maybe the opium itself is just a tool in her hand rather than itself. But I think my investigation into her is the opposite of anything but our business. It's entirely our business magistrates, and this is. I think that Taiyo is misguided in not wanting.
I think he's concerned that you are focused only on opium, and he's been trying to convince you to look at the other problems of the city rather than just opium. I've been trying to convince him that all of the problems are tied to one root, and now I've come to you to tell you I believe opium is one of the branches tied to. Let us align our focuses.
All right. So what do you think is the right course of action? We should be investigating Chisuru Hayobu?
I do. It's not within my skill set to do so.
All right. I'll continue to focus.
But if you believe that her plan would be to unleash opium when the city is at its most desperate for it, perhaps there's a way with that to our...
Oh, really? What's your plan?
Well, we would need to find the people threatening those who have been murdered, shut down from our cooperation. We would need to know when she's about to make her move. When the opium's going to hit the streets, we need to know, and we need to be able to trace it back to her. Or we could, I have no opium, but if we were to become a competitor to her, that would draw her focus to us, or obviously we would do so under a disguise, which again is not my area of expertise.
I know who's over.
I don't think it could ever be right for us to commit a crime in the person. So we should Ishi's tone totally changes, and he's sitting real big now, real upset.
Where is the line in between posing as a competitor and committing a crime? There must be a side of that line we can be on while achieving our goal.
We can't illegally distribute opium.
But we could. Is there a way to have people believe that we did?
I don't know. That's not exactly my expertise. I kind of investigate people. That's what I'm good at. I don't know how to convince a city full of addicts that we're the ones supplying.
Then, if we can be aligned in this, perhaps we can take in Taiyo.
Perhaps.
And Aji, though I fear he has issues of his own.
Very little whispers.
Well, I saw him take some. I'm not saying that character.
No, I know all this stuff as a person, not as a.
I'm telling you now, I fear Aji has his own issues.
Oh, that's.
And though I value his service to the city, there are. I wonder how he compromised in some situations.
Well, at the very least, you did bring in an incredibly important bit about that diary. I think that is an important step because it has a lot of.
And that's a third alternative to my ideas of getting to the governor, is if the journal contains information regarding her, perhaps the answers are just only as far away as acorn at the bottom of the anthill. There are many ways to dig underground, but I know not which tunnel to follow.
Aji.
Yes.
What's your game plan here?
Does Otato have a response? I left him a message.
Nope, you have not gotten a response from Bayushi Otato, nor his father, Bayushi Korichika, nor that servant who was so polite.
He looks so servant-y.
So servile.
It was. Actually, probably the exact word now.
All right, I will go to the house of the Morning Sun.
The house of the Morning Sun?
Morning Star?
It's Morning Sun. All right. So yeah, we go to the house of the Morning Sun. So you head to Teardrop Island. You go through the usual thing. Do you go there as a magistrate, or do you go there incognito? Basket hat and everything.
As a magistrate.
All right, so you head there as a magistrate.
Bold.
Hop on a little gondola. Somebody ferries you across.
Sorry.
Somebody ferries you across, and you get to the House of the Morning Sun. And the place is incredibly serene, incredibly beautiful. You walk in, and a woman, her name is Jewel, I believe. We'll check on that one. Yep, that's her name. She greets you after a while. I think somebody else initially greets you, and then she eventually comes in. And Jewel is a woman in her 60s, maybe? And she kind of bows to you and says, "Oh, Kakita-sama, a pleasure to have you here."
Yes, but I'm not here for pleasure right now. I have some questions.
All right.
Is there...
So, before you do this, go ahead and make a bold roll for me. And she says, "Questions?"
I know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. Not bad. 7 plus.
3.
All right, so 10. Awesome.
Pretty good.
Yes, I said questions. You know what that means, right, Jewel?
Whoa, damn, son. He was turning that shit.
She says, "Oh, of course. Here, why don't we get you some sake or tea? Here, come this way." And she walks with you to a little private room, and she'll let you sit down. Some other servants will come in a moment, and she'll come back in and she'll sit down with you, and some other servants will come and pour you some tea or sake, whichever you prefer.
Right. So,
and you look over at the other servant. It's just other servants. You're good.
I better find out. Does my presence here make her nervous?
She doesn't seem to be nervous at all, unless you're trying to read her.
I won't be there.
All right. You got a
7.
Make a 10.
Yeah.
So how is she feeling about me being here? Like, as a magistrate?
If you're here as a magistrate, she's not bothered at all. She feels very confident.
Confident, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Dare she?
You know what that means, don't you, Jewel?
So, Jewel, I can ask you some questions. Start off, what do you know about Magda and the House of Foreign Stories?
She says, "Oh, well, Magda's been right there down the main road for several years until just recently. Very successful."
I'm sure you know more than that, because that's your main competition, is it not?
She'll say, "Oh, we're not in competition with one another. Our two houses are very, very different."
How so?
She says, "This is a place where samurai can come and be themselves. They can relax. This is a peaceful place where they can let their guard down and truly be themselves."
And how's that different from the House of Foreign Stories?
She'll say, "Yeah, well, I've never."
Much better quality here.
She'll basically say that, yeah, like we have the finest things, we have the best things that Rokugan can offer here at the House of the
Let's see. Is there no short supply of these finest things?
Just say, "Oh, we have basically whatever your heart's desire. That's what we can present you here. This isn't a place of strife. This isn't a place that ooh, and this is, I think, the dig that she throws in here. This isn't a place merely to revel in what's novel."
It's a good dig.
That's her dig.
I'm proud of her. She's doing good work.
Hey. And what are these? Not novelties?
She says, I feel like there's something that you want, Aji-sama." She says, "Why don't I, and I feel that you're stressed. Perhaps you can relax." And she kind of like knocks on one of the doors, and an absolutely stunning geisha comes in, and she has like a shamisen, and the servant comes and pours more sake or more tea, and she says, "This is precious," which is much funnier now than when this book was written in 1998. "This is precious," and Precious kind of bows. She says, and Jewel kind of nods to Precious, and Precious starts playing, pours you some of the tea or some of the sake, and then starts playing the shamisen, this very kind of peaceful song, soothing song. She starts to sing, and Jewel asks, what is it that you want, Haji-sama?"
Read a situation?
Sure.
Got a 10.
You got a 10.
Yes. Which enemy is the most vulnerable to me?
Which enemy is the most vulnerable to you?
Here in this place.
You are not among enemies.
Oof. Good.
Precious's lazy eye.
Oh no.
What should I be on the lookout for?
They are vassals of Shosuro Hyobu, of the governor.
Oh shit. They're gonna. He's not among enemies? Are you sure about that shit? I thought we were among enemies. That's all.
What?
That's all I'm saying.
Which is weird. But yeah, you're not among enemies here.
Peculiar.
Which enemy is my biggest threat?
Is that the one you want to ask?
Enemies, you're just gonna say it's at me.
What? Let's see.
You can ask it, and I'll try to answer it as honestly as I can with this, but...
Didn't I already ask, what should I be on the lookout for?
Yeah, and I said they are Shosuro Hyobu's vassals.
Yeah.
She's the patron of this establishment.
Okay. I have a question. It doesn't fit one of these. One of on the list.
Go ahead and...
What's the significance of this geisha house to Hyobu?
What's the best way into Hyobu through this geisha house is what I'm going to say.
Okay.
This place makes her a lot of money. This place makes her a lot of money. And if there was somebody that she didn't like, and someone that Jewel or Precious didn't like, any information about them would get funneled to Hyobu. So these two hear a lot of stuff.
See?
Especially now that their main competition isn't doing so well.
Yeah. Well, so it's Jewel and Precious?
Yes.
So Jewel, I think there's someone following you, and they may come to visit.
Oh my god.
She'll say this isn't a place for worries like that.
They might kill you.
This is a very safe place. There's no need to worry about those things.
Thanks. That's what I've come to this establishment for. It's what I hear you that you can provide. Just letting you know that I'm sure you heard what recently happened with the House of Foreign Stories.
And she's like, don't worry about that. You can. Oh no, I think she'll say like how does that make you feel? I know you were there regularly.
I'm saddened that the House of Foreign Stories has lost one of its most beautiful jewels.
My name's Jewel.
That's
But I think I will find another. But I'm sure there are other gems out there.
My name's Shin.
Yeah. She'll kind of nod and she'll listen to you talk, and after a while she'll say like why don't I leave you to enjoy this music on your own? And she'll kind of like let you sit there, and Precious kind of plays this music and sings a song to you, and then periodically we'll pour you more sake and kind of ask if there's anything else that you want.
Wing.
Wing.
Isn't that precious?
Yes.
Alright. Can I ask a question?
Yeah. Here's what I want you to do. Go ahead and make a love roll.
Mm-hmm.
And your love is at 2 right now, right?
Yeah. Deal with your opium addiction.
Make it just minus. Make it at 1 rather than 2. Oh, god damn it! What's that?
It's a 6.
6. Okay. So your love goes up to 3, but you do not. You're like, oh, does she mean opium? I don't know. I bet I could get opium here. I'm just gonna hold it together. And you're able to say no, and I think the last scene is you finally leaving. Taiyo. What's Taiyo's game plan here?
Let's see, Korshi.
All right. Ooh.
Ooh.
When you get to the place, yeah, you see that there are a lot more of Korchika's retainers there, and you'll be kind of brought in, and Korchika will come and again meet you kind of just in that little waiting area, and he'll be like, cigarettes don't exist in this game or in this world, but if they did, he would be smoking, whereas like normally he's not smoking.
It's just super stressed out.
He seems like a little more. He seems a bit off, and he's like, "How can I?" And he's like, "I don't have a lot of time. How can I help you?" What is it, cousin?
Like I took last time we met, you were saying that you think the governor to get you, take over the business or is active.
Seems that way.
I took your word. Like I tried to investigate your concerns to heart, and I think you're right.
Well, that makes sense. She had her daughter ride out with Otato, so he wasn't around to do. There was one fewer, one of our number to see to things if anything went wrong. She had her Thunder Guard raid the village. I bet that's the reason why things have been so slack in the Crablands these days. And he said, and he's kind of like, again, if people had watches, he would be looking at his watch. Yeah. He says, there's no, he says, the crab are one of the larger clans in the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
They're the 3rd largest clan in the Empire, after the Lion and the Crane. Plus, they have all these soldiers who sit on that wall, and the moment they get off of it, want to forget everything they supposedly saw on this wall and how terrible it was. I don't care what they saw. The crab market is good.
Yeah, that's one of your...
And it hasn't been so good recently. And this is, I'm sure, exactly what's going on. And probably why she wants to keep the Mantis clan, so that she can smuggle stuff downstream to the crab.
So you think she's cutting you out?
At least cutting into my take. Our take.
What about Saryoku's slice after... Seems like her business is in shambles.
He says... And I think again, he's just real mean about it. He's like Saryoku was a bitch, and she was the runt of the whole situation. If she's gone, I'm sure that's just Hayobu's first step in removing us out of this too.
Who's in charge of Unicorn, Dragon, and Phoenix now?
And he says, once we can make up for what was sold, once we can make up for what was stolen from us and destroyed by Hayobu, we've got a big shipment that's supposed to go out. Once we can make up for what was taken, we could think about moving into that as well if Saryoku's really gone. But right now, we have to get the resources. We have to get the resources back together. We lost too much when the village was attacked.
The village was? Did I know that?
Oh, that's when he told you that his folks were attacked by the Thunder Road.
Oh, that whole village?
Yeah, that necessary village.
How much did you lose?
And he says, not a small amount. Not everything, but not a small amount.
I saw there's more of the strong arm, right?
Mm-hmm.
That you're having guard your places?
He says, yeah, it's a good plan. He says...
Are you hiring them, or are they working? What's your relationship with them?
Well, he says, Ooh, sounds like you want to read this guy?
Sure.
Go for it.
That's advanced now.
Ooh.
You.
Okay.
What? 12.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it.
What'd you get? 5 plus 7? Okay. And he says, Auntie's hiring them.
Okay.
But yes, we're bringing in more security. My main merchants have more security. Some of them have even hired bodyguards. He says, I noticed you have a bodyguard. It's not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Increased security is a good idea.
Why is there's not a lot of opium on the streets anymore? Why are you not selling it, or what's going on?
He says, if Saryoku got hit, I got hit. That reduces the amount that's out there by a lot.
Did they destroy it, or did they steal it?
So
at the village,
it says it was. I gotta double check this. Now you're making me doubt myself.
No, I don't even know.
Yeah, hold on.
Is this a giant plot to stock up, or is this just destroying? Who even knows? The plots they get.
Hayabu has a lot.
Maybe it's not wrong.
maybe not.
Maybe it's not wrong.
How? Why would you say that?
You don't know.
We have no idea. Yeah, no one does.
I feel like
I'm assuming.
Well, I mean, my character knows that she lied about being robbed, and later I found out she wasn't.
No, they were robbed. Yeah, so that's what I thought. I was like, wait, did they destroy the stuff? No, they stole it.
But what's her face? Saryoku. What? It was destroyed for her, right?
No, remember it was put on a boat and it left. Was what the witnesses said.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't have any. Saryoku's in a shambles.
Someone's hoarding it because it's not getting sold, or I guess being shipped out of Ryoko Owari.
And he says, "Well, I'm certainly not able to move my people aren't certainly not as able to move as much as they used to be, and I'm sure Saryoku, wherever she isn't able to do that either."
Who's the patron of Captain Yellow?
Shosuro Gobai, the governor's brother. Brother-in-law. I'm sorry, the governor's brother-in-law. The dude with the pig mask. Slash rumored lover.
Mm-hmm. I forgot about that. To be completely honest, I completely...
There's a rich tapestry of characters here.
Reviewing dossier.
But he's like, and again, if he had a watch, he'd be looking at his watch. But he's like, we've got the reason I brought in all this security. We've got another big shipment coming out. We can make a lot of money on this and rebuild from there and maybe expand. I don't have a lot of time.
What are you planning to do then?
And he says, we've got to move this stuff down to Crablands.
Outside the city for the winter?
And he says, we can make it before that big frost comes in. That'll work out.
What about all the citizens that depend on this opium?
And he says, there's other stuff that we can get to them that's still in the city or can be harvested later. That doesn't need to travel down the river.
It seems like there's already a drought.
And he says, we'll be doing our best.
You have to keep some to keep in the city, though.
And he says, there'll be some, but we got to move a big amount down. Otherwise, we're going to lose those spots, especially if she's pushing in there.
The problem.
He says,
how can I convince you to not do that? Is my question. Why don't you liquidate it into Koku instead? Like sell it in the city. Just sell as much as you can. There's already a need for it, so just sell your supply now.
And he'll say it's already like promised. It's already promised to folks. Like we've got to do that. That's an area where if we get undercut there, that's a big problem. We can sell that.
It won't get undercut. There's already a high demand. This is business, baby.
I think he's just thinking this is where this has to go.
Is there any way I can convince him? Do you have a favor on it?
I think I
do have a seduce move.
Yeah.
No,
I think if you were
the move.
I don't know. I feel he's pretty set on this situation.
Does this deal with vice?
Definitely, but he's not. It's not in that way. Yeah. But if you could convince him that you're going to go after, if he knew you guys were going after, or that you were going against Hyobu.
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, I think that could be something he could.
I have information that there are other magistrates that are really interested in what Hyobu is doing.
He's like, well, if there could be something done about that,
should I
soon?
roll it?
Yeah.
Yes, this is also advanced.
Okay.
This deals with vice.
Again.
Yes, this definitely does.
It does, but it does. Is your vice specifically? You're tempting them with vice?
No, I'm tempting him to get all the money.
But what's your
from
move
here
that gives you the bonus? Say
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Just bring a vice every like 3
it
minutes.
has to do with vice, but
When you attempt to seduce or manipulate someone either with sex or with other vices.
yeah, you're not tempting his money.
Yeah, he's getting more money.
What his manipulation is, hey, instead of getting money at this other place, get the money here.
Yeah,
He's
it's
already
already in
getting-
high demand.
He's already guaranteed his money.
Yeah, I'll say you liquidate it now. It'll keep the city safe, and you'll get so much more.
I feel like
I can go either way. What do you guys think?
You've never used it before. So I kind of vote for it. You could use it. Not as a precedent, but as a...
As a penny
Yeah.
use? It's penny
This is
use.
the closest I've gotten to it, to vice.
Yeah.
Getting more money.
This is all specifically about money, and samurai are not supposed to be about money.
But he's got... I mean...
Right. See, he's got the... I'm saying...
Oh, yeah, so that's a vote for.
I'm saying I could see how it works for that.
I vote for using it.
Okay, go for it.
All right. This is advanced. You could become my ally.
No.
Yeah, it's a 6 plus
3 is
3?
9.
9.
What? Oh.
You still get a
Well, I'd still
good
get a
shit.
shit, so I mean, I have that. Yeah, the best I could do is 10. Do I win? Because I still have the read a situation bonus. Korchika's in charge of the bar,
Yeah.
so she's people left town, and the strong's late. So it's just
Okay. So what could you do to... What's your concrete assurance here?
I would say Ishi already has enough investigating her as we speak.
Okay.
And so you'll swear to this guy that Ishi's going after the governor right now?
Yeah, I think that's true.
Okay. I think if we...
You did just try to convince this man to convince me not to. That's all I wanted to just put out there.
But I did read you, and my last question for you're going to go to the journal.
I was going to go to the journal. I guess you could say I think journal Naritoki, but sure.
Yeah, that's what you're saying, right?
All right. And he'll say, "Okay, I'm gonna have to bring this stuff. I'm gonna have to bring this stuff in on a. I'm gonna have to send a ship out now to go down the river. I'm gonna have to send people out now to go down the river, hire other people to come back up the river to bring this on a barge not owned by me to come back in. This isn't gonna be easy at all, and I don't want to have any fucking problems if it was. There's gonna be more precautions. Fine."
It'll be a lot better if there's more opium in this city come winter than less. You'll have more money in your pocket.
I agree. All right. Well, I got to go deal. I got a lot more things to plan. He kind of like leaves. So that night, we have kind of a shot of like the evening descends on the city, and then we have kind of shots of you guys either going to sleep or something like that, of kind of like the city going to bed, and never. And then like a commotion going, like a big commotion afoot. And you see off in the, you see over here in the fisherman's quarter, you see a big plume of smoke.
Oh, great.
From there, and from out further this way, all kinds of smoke out in the countryside around the city. And you guys are maybe like awakened by this stuff after there's like all of this burning going on, and
Smells like heaven.
like brought out to see all this stuff that's like on fire.
Like the poppy fields.
So there's just fire all out in the fields, off in the distance.
City of Lies is Tone as Kakita Aji, Brandon as Hida Ishi, David as Bayushi Taiyo, Andrew as Agasha Yugare, and Austin as your Game Master. The theme music for City of Lies is Mission of Danger by Lobo Loco. Additional music for this episode includes A Fool of the First Water by Head vs. Wall. Our intro was done by Scott. This American Dice Ryoko Owari City of Lies uses the City of Lies box set by Greg Stolz, published by Alderac Entertainment Group. The mechanics used is a modified PBTA system by Brendan Taylor of Galileo Games. Join us next time for more This American Dice.